morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the respected dignitaries of IIU, trainers, distinguished participants from all around the globe. I, Dr. Snigdha Kadam, President Global Academic Council and IIU Research Center India of the International Internship University, take the privilege to welcome you all to the first batch of the Mentor Development Program organized by the International Internship University, the first virtual global university building a better and brighter future for all the young learners and is committed to providing quality, accessible, affordable, skill-based virtual education with the aim to provide internship opportunities and research facilities. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional cost and providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses and internship to their e-learners across the globe. IIU has been accredited and affiliated with the World Education Organization WEO, an international accreditation organization, and collaborated with many of the world's topmost universities and educational institutions through the platform of massive open online courses. Today, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents. The person who is behind the success of IIU is none other than the co-founder of IIU, Piyush Pandit sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to the students from various social and cultural backgrounds, possessing excellent administrative and verbal communication written skills, a next-gen speaker, passionate writer, the founder of Swarna Bharat Parivar and chairman of Piyush Group. Today, we have a personality with us who is ESL, EFL, ESP trainer, a teacher trainer, global educator, international speaker, PhD at Armenia State Pedagogical University, MS in the field of psychology and foreign languages. Yes, today we have a brilliant lady, Dr. Alice Durgarayan, as a trainer for the second day of the Mentor Development Program. She is a ESL teacher, trainer, and lecturer associated with universities and many countries. She has taken a part in different international conferences as a speaker and in different international projects as a trainer. She's the author of many scientific articles in the field of teaching English as a second foreign language pedagogy, volunteered in different international projects and companies. She is a lifelong education TESOL, TKT modules, CETFEL programs at American University in Armenia Business English course and participated in different international projects as a trainer for foreign students, teachers, professors, etc. So I think our brilliant trainer, she deserves a round of applause from each one of us. I must say, Dr. Alice, a beauty with the brilliance, right? You all are agreeing with me? Yes. A mentor is a person who guides by building trust and modeling positive behaviors. An effective mentor understands that his or her role is to be dependable, engaged, authentic, tuned into the needs of the mentee. So let's begin the session to be a mentor, a role model, and to set an example with our trainer for the day 2 of the batch 1, Dr. Alice. Dear ma'am, the platform is all yours now.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Good evening, all of you, maybe good afternoon, some of for you, if you are in another countries. Glad to be here and also to be here and share my knowledge and experience in this field. Yesterday we started, yes, really, I was also a participant yesterday, just trying to enjoy how the program and the course is, and really trying to, at the same time, psychologically prepare for me for today's session. Today also is a very important, and we are starting about the second part of this mentoring program course. In this course, we are going to speak not only about theoretically, but today I'm going to have my session a little bit, not only theoretical, but practical parts also we are going to have. And today we shall speak not only about the role of mentor, who is mentor, psychologically, what kind of features or just requirements do you need in order to be really a good mentor? Because if we just go deep, we should see that there are some similarities with being teacher. Because we, as teachers, when we just enter the classroom, we are already mentors because we try to mentor and also we try to teach, to give, to share, to transfer our knowledge and skills with our students. In this case, we already are mentors. But I think for teacher, who is a creator, who is someone who not to stand in one place, should go forward and should go ahead and know more and more. That's why we have to develop, and why not in some cases to get more and more qualification. And the next step in this case comes mentoring and being a mentor. Today, oh, can you give me a chance to share my screen? Please, can you make me co-host?
Yes, ma'am. I have given you the multiple sharing option as well. You can share now.
Yes. Now
All the participants, you are requested to kindly mute yourself. One more request, as the session is going to be the interactive session, we would like your cameras to be on. Thank you.
Now I am sharing my screen. Oh, is my screen visible or not?
Beautiful.
Okay. Let's go and start. As I have told you, we are going to have sorry. Okay, let's start. And as I have told you, we are going to have an interactive session. And now I would like you to take a sheet of paper and draw a star. I'm not good at just drawing, but I try. I do my best in order to draw. Please draw a star. And in your star, for each point, there are 5 points. You are going to give here, what do you need in order to be a good mentor? What requirements or maybe qualifications do you need in order to be a good mentor? Please write here for about 1 minute. The first thoughts that come to your mind, just write here, then we are going to share. What do you need? I will write also and share my one. Else,
can you repeat it once again?
Yes,
what was the
I
question?
can repeat. Yes, please draw a star and write down 5 features that you need in order to be a good mentor. You too, about 1 minute, and then we shall share our thoughts and ideas. Okay. Do we have anyone who has finished? Okay, please. Kieran, just well. Please unmute yourself and share. Show us first of all. Show me your.
This is a day. Okay. I'm Ms. Stama. Yeah. So good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to all. So what I feel as a mentor, we should have respectful attitude. Then secondly, enthusiasm, reflective, and willingness. This is what I feel as a mentor. We should have all these qualities in us.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we have another one. Kieran, yes.
Good evening, everyone. For me, a mentor should have a relevant knowledge. He or she must be a good listener, respect, flexible, and he or she might be willing to like enthusiastically perform in the activities undertaken by him or her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone who wants to share? Okay, please, Shivani. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, so my points are honesty towards the profession, comfort zone, skillful, good listener, and attitude towards the classroom or towards the children. According to me, a good mentor should be.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. If there is no one who wants to share, we can go.
Yes. Can you share my points?
Yes.
So he should be knowledgeable. He should be an example. He should be able to motivate, be resourceful, and able to give feedback.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Frederick, with you. Thank you, Laura.
Hello, can I share mine?
Yes, please.
Okay. So a good mentor should be a growth focused, expert in the field, honest and candid, and able to network and find resources, and non-judgmental. That's
okay,
all
thank you very much. Now let's go and ask, please. Joy, please.
I'm here, can go.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, thank you. All right. First of all, I would like to do this. Oh, I'm sorry, I have a background. I wanted to show the star that I've thrown. Unfortunately, it can't come out unless I remove the background. But then, anyways, in the star that I thrown, I have 5 features of being a good mentor. I know they are not the only ones, but they are the ones that I think they are very crucial and paramount important. And the first one is honesty. As a mentor, you need to be as honest as possible, because if you want to produce good mentors, you need to be open to them and be able to call a spade a spade. And secondly, a good listener. As a mentor, I believe that you need to have a listening skill, whereby you need to be able to listen to your mentees attentively and be able to make a right choice or a right steps. And then another one is caring. As a mentor, I believe that you need to care for your mentees, more especially if you love them and you want to groom them to become better persons in the future. And then another one, I said loving, whereby you need to love them. If you don't love them, you will not enjoy them. And if you don't enjoy them, you will not produce what you are anticipating for. I believe in a saying that he who do what he love, he will definitely love what he do. So, and then the last one is informative. I believe that as a mentor, you need to be a reader and you need to be informative at all times. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go and ask our next Oninyechi Joy. Yes, am I right with spelling your name?
Yeah, Onyechi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, my star here, I have 5 points. The first is A mentor should have the requisite experience or knowledge of what he or she wants to mentor. Then he or she has to be patient, has to have a high level of patience, and should be a continuous learner. There's no end to learning and should always want to learn so in order to impact knowledge. Then a mentor should be non-judgmental. And I actually picked that from yesterday, especially when Dr. Kevin said, we're always judgmental because we try to assign reasons to other people's actions. And that's one thing I've been guilty of over time. So I picked that and I must thank him for that. Then the next point is about being enthusiastic. The truth is, if one has no enthusiasm over what he or she is interested in, you can't impact others. So those are the 5 points I think, amongst all the points, which I think every mentor should have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And also here we have from Antonina, give constructive feedback. Yes, just giving, we can say that being a mentor and mentoring, it means, first of all, to be a positive, supportive facilitator of learning, development, and also like someone who will work with the teachers, with the mentee in their professional just path in order to give. Today, especially, we shall pay attention to our skills, what kind of skills do usually we need in order to be a mentor. And I wanted to start with one, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And being a teacher, it already means that you are going to do any kind of revolution in educational field in order to be. And also in some cases, we try to know who is mentor. As I have told you, it's someone who just mentoring the program, who is more knowledgeable and also knows many, many things in order to be like a supporter for teachers' growth and development. And from this point, we can say that mentors, they have a great role in our professional development because they are the ones who know about the new innovations, about the new methods, techniques that can be even the old ones, which can be just for changed and put, just give a new soul to these methods and can be, why not, to develop and become more and more proficient in their fields. Mentoring is something that people like to work with to improve themselves. And as for mentors too, being a mentor, it doesn't mean that you have to stop and you have everything, now you are a mentor. No, it just gives you new and new just demands or something in order to go and get more, because today this technique may be more useful, but let's go back a little and remember when we were having face-to-face lessons and everything just in one day just exploded, and we had from the next morning to start our online lessons, knowing something but not, let's say, more proficient and more qualified working online platform without any kind of training. It looks like this one. Just being a mentor, it doesn't mean just to stand. We have to go and try to be just ready for any kind of innovation, to be ready any kind of changes in order to be able in a short time to get aware of it, and also to be able to help our teachers to know many, many things. And from this point, we can say that all kinds of changing requirements, any kind of government-led activities or new law, the mentor should be a good leader and should have the ability of an individual or just a group of individuals to influence and guide followers or other members of an organization. And also being a leader, it means not only just to be, in this case, as an educator, but also someone who will just lead the group and will share everything that they need in order to be a good mentor. The second one, it goes to the profession. The mentor in this case should be like expert in his profession, his or her profession. And it can be like an occupation, trade, or activity. And in this case, she will be a qualified one, and also in a particular maybe area or field, she will be a great just expert and will be able to know everything referring to this one. And he should also have in-depth knowledge about his profession, in this case, and subject. And also good learner, a good coach, an expert, and also knowing like everything about other, not 100%, but some cases, because I can be a mentor and I can give something, and maybe I'm training mathematics teacher and she would ask me something from mathematics, and like very basic knowledge and elements I should know in order to be able to answer them. Then the next one, the third one that we need, it's about the subject expertise and resource person, because he is a person with expertise in a certain area who may be called upon as necessary to perform a task or provide information. And in this case, mentor is considered to be like a trainer resource person who is qualified to answer, to share everything referring to the field that teachers want to know, referring to the training course, referring to their professional just a part. The next one is about the vision. The vision is like a sense by which the qualities of an object as a color that make up its appearance are like perceived through a process in which light rays entering the eye are transformed into signals that pass to the brain. It should be like visual one, because in this case, mentor should like, how can we, for example, enter the classroom? We want to share, we want to explain or teach something. Sometimes, very often, we use different kinds of didactic materials in order to be visible and for students be clear. In this case also, mentor is like a source, like in the center of these resources, which she tries to give everything to the mentees in order to be more aware of everything they need in their teaching process. The next one is about the commitment. It's like agreement, or maybe in some cases promise in order to do something, because first of all, it is the willingness of the teachers or the mentees. In this case, you become like a mentee when you take part in these such kind of programs. And in order just to believe or promise or any kind of decisions that can be made in the framework of the training course, and also try to help to bring near, to bring closer all your dreams in teaching sphere. And also only in these cases it will give just a good result, and at the end of the course all the mentees, they will be just ready in order to get the information and become proficient. Step by step you should go, and from this point it's very important how the mentorship program is developed, how it's structured, and also what kind of processes. And in this case, it's very important point for it about the team building, because it can be a process or action in order to get together and to work. And what kind of team you will have, it depends on the result, and also the effectiveness of your team working will depend on it. Only because only in this case you can just be sure or be aware of everything that the results will be positive one. You will get the results that you have in your brain while you were just aiming, or while you were trying to organize a training course. And from this one, it's very important to have a stronger unit of people who are working together, to have a strong and also at the same time very purposeful and also beneficial team, because only in this case, when all the members who are full of energy, who really have an aim of working, they will be able, to work together like a team, to having their motivation, encouragement, and inspiration, and first of all, collaboration. Because you can have a team and you can very good, let's say, expert team members, but if they don't cooperate with each other, you won't get anything. And in this case, the main responsibility, let's say, relates to the mentor, because she should do everything in order really to have a good team. And for this, how can we just cooperate, and how can we organize and also lead, and at the end just have such kind of team? First of all, we have to build trust, because if there is a trust, everything will be okay. All the members of the team, including also the mentor, they will trust to each other, and it will be better and better and easier to work with each other. And then the next time, just regulate communication. How can we communicate? It can't be like our everyday, just, oh, my friend, I see you, good evening, what are you doing? It's no, not only, but there should be some kind of regulations about the communication sphere. And also, after having it, and having the aim and problems and objects, how can we just communicate with each other, we can increase our productivity. And it brings all like people together, and we have just aim, we have objectives, and we can just think that we are going to have really very positive result at the end. And also fosters creativity and learning. And in some cases, for example, people can have even conflict, because it can be a team when everything is like brilliant and there is no kind of conflict. No, in some cases it can be conflict, in some cases can be competition, and one of the main objectives of mentors is to build up such kind of team when there can be compromises or any kind of resolutions or anything that they will help the team, the mentor, first of all, in order to build a real and trustful and just relationships and collaboration in the framework of that team. And only in this case, it will just be improve their company or their group culture. And also only in this case, we can just have that such kind of environment which will just benefit in order to have a real mentoring program or course, and also collaborative one with mentee. And on the other hand, it will be for mentor to just act, to conduct everything productively, beneficially, only in this case. And now let's go and see what can be. From this point, we can just have communication, maybe companionship, non-judgmental, or collaboration. Now, I would like you in the chat in order to write down, what do you think? Which one is the most important one from this point? Here we have only 4 benefits that I have mentioned here: communication, companionship, collaboration, and non-judgmental. Please, I would like you, let me just do in this case in order to help you. I will just write numbering them randomly. I'm doing it randomly. And please, in the chat, put in the right order which one is the most important one for you. Please look in the chat. Please put in the right order for you. Which one is more important one in order to have benefits for team building. The first one, communication. Okay, thank you for your answers. You see, the communication, yes. I think in, we have again communication. Thank you. Communication, thank you for your answers. Yes, all of them, honestly, all of them, they are very important one. It depends on what stage do we want, what stage we are in our team building part in order to get. Let's start in every case. For example, it can be communication, collaboration, companionship, non-judgmental. In this case, it can be different kinds of skills that usually the mentees and also mentors, especially, they need to have to be, let's say, in some cases qualified in order to know the real, how to be such kind of a real good mentor. And from this one, it can be, for example, if we go to the non-judgmental, it can be, for example, objective, broad-minded, liberal, tolerant, etc. And why not? From this point, the mentor should be non-judgmental, because if we go to the part, for example, communication, it should be sociable, it should be flexible, easygoing, or about the mentorship, which is goes to the psychology of your team members. Everything is very important one in order to really to get and to know. Now, after this part, when I have something to you, now I would like to ask what skills to write down in your chat. You have just mentioned that for you, the first one, communication, for example, is very important one for as a benefit for team building. Now, please write down some skills, character skills that you need in order to be a mentor, from communication part and also from collaboration part and the companionship. From these three parts, 1, 2, 3, from these parts, just write down in the chat one character skill, or maybe let's say peculiarity that you need for these points. Here we have something. He should be balanced person, not biased, analytical, available. Okay, thank you. Active listening. Okay, thank you. We should have clear goals. Agree 100%, because if you don't have your clear goal, you can't just achieve something. Emphatic. Yes, Violet, agree with you. Precise, clear. Yes, they are very important one. These are available. Okay, precise, clear. These are the ones that we usually need in order patience. This is very important one, because you can be a very good expert, but if there is no patience, them a question and not wait for the. Thank you for your now. Bit deep to the model of mentoring skills. What model do we have usually, and what are included here? Here we have the mentoring shared by core skills. As you see here, we have mentee specific skills and also about the others mentor specific skills. Venn diagram here we have why we have to just speak a little bit deeper about them, I'm going to give you. And first of all, we are going to speak about the core mentoring skills. What kind of skills do we need for it? The first one is going to the listening actively, because active listening, it can be like the most basic mentoring skills, and all the other skills maybe are based on it or just require or have some kinds of parts in them. Because when you listen well and demonstrate to your mentors and mentees that you know that you have heard everything and understood, it's okay. Just imagine yourself when you enter the school and when your student just speaks or tells the lesson and you just nod with your head, just nod. We don't say anything, but our mimic or our gestures can just prove that we agree with you. You are right. Go on. Just encouraging, inspiring, and making them understand that we have everything. And as a result, they feel accepted by you. And trust builds. The first step that we have to build our stuff, and through the listening, because in this case, the mentor should reflect the back certain comments to show that you have grasped the meaning and feelings besides the message. In this case, we haven't done, we just nodded our just heads or just something to show that we agree with you, we have heard, and it's okay for the other participants and mentors. And also, in some cases, use the appropriate non-verbal language. Just even the twinkling of our eyes or just as looking directly into the people's eyes, we can just say that, or smiling in some cases, that everything is okay. And also avoid interrupting mentors and mentees while they are talking. You can wait, and after their speech, if you have any misunderstandings or questions, you can just ask them. And remember and show some kinds of interest in this case, or summarize in some cases the key elements and give like a feedback one. And from everything, try to rely on your experience. When you are listening and trying to give the feedback or answer, try to bring all the examples maybe from your experience, to have a live examples telling, I'm really just listening to you. Oh, I see. Just some kind of things, or do you know such kind of thing has happened to me, and such kind of things, in order to make sure that you have listened and you trust the one who you are working with. And the second one here, we go from the listening to the building trust. We have listened, we have nodded, we have just given verbal or non-verbal just expression, or just in some cases like feedback, and we have already go to the stage of building trust. The more that your mentors and mentees trust you, the more committed they will be able your partnership with them, and it will be more and more effective one, because this trust in this case develops over time if your mentors and mentees like they observe certain appropriate behaviors on your part, because they pay attention everything. To become, in this case, trustful, just spend appropriate time together, respect your mentees and mentors boundaries, give a real live communication, and admit in some cases the errors and responsibility for correcting them. And why not give also the feedback, and try to be honest and just with them, because only in this case they will trust you and won't say that we don't trust because she's not or he's not just, because in these cases, for example, the mentor pays attention or relies on, no, try to keep your balance in everything. and try from this point just to be a mentor who is very just and honest one, who will share everything and without paying. In some cases, will give the positive, negative ones, all the things in order to show that everything is very visible and obvious one and everything is okay. Now, after having, as you see, I have shown you the list part, we go to the next part, which is called as encouragement. Because we can give, we can trust, we can listen, but at the same time, we can just mentoring skills, we can should like it be encouraging one, giving partners recognition and also positive verbal feedback. And in order to make them to be more trustful and also self-confident, we should inspire and encourage them. And maybe at the first stages, they are not so skillful one or just very qualified one to be, but we should encourage. How, for example, we encourage our students when, especially if they are at the primary school and try to learn how they can write the letters. And every time we just say, you can, I know, you are very brilliant, well done, you had deserved it, awesome. We try just to encourage them. In this case also, successful mentees always just say, make a point of positively reinforcing for their mentors, which serves to keep the mentors focused or motivated. And in this case, provide genuine positive feedback to your mentors and mentees regularly, because it's something when you encourage them, and in some cases, maybe they will encourage and inspire you too, in order to be more and more just beneficial, skillful one, and encourage, and you can be self-confident to share. And you can do it differently. You can do it with group, you can do it one-on-one, you can do it in front of people, express some kind of thanks or appreciation, and why not, in some cases, while checking something and giving the feedback in a written form, you can just write down some kinds of comments and say, oh, do you know, thank you very much, a very good job, just encourage them. And also, in some cases, just point positive traits. And next, then we actually go to identifying goals and current reality, because we get acquainted, trust, we come stage by stage, we just go in order to come to our goals and current reality. Who are they? And mentor in this case should have a personal vision, goals, a good grasp of current reality. As a mentor, be clear on and talk to your mentees about their visions, dreams, career goals, and how can you help in order, what can be done in order, for example, to achieve, to go, in order to go and get the real result as we want. And from this one, it is important to know what is important to you and what you value and desire most. Recognize areas in which you are able, for example, to perform well, very concrete, for example, examples of the behaviors you can just demonstrate or just speak, and sometimes have even short talks or discussions with your mentors and mentees in order to find out what they are interested in, or what is there anything that any kind of misunderstanding that can be just, for example, solved and give the more and appropriate result, and also why not advise how to do it. And also about the identify specific weaknesses and growth areas observed in yourself, and why not once noted by others, or like describe, for example, the reality of your abilities and situations, and try to just constantly for get everything for your self-knowledge, collaborating with new feedback and also observations that usually there are should be during the training course. And everything such kind of, as I have mentioned, these are the core ones, but it's not the only ones that usually we have in order just to mentor, to be a mentor, and we need in order in our mentoring course. Besides it, we are going to go another skills which are also very important one, and these ones are like critical skills. Now, before going this one, what do you think? Again, in our chat, or you can just unmute yourself and tell your just opinion about it. What do you think? Which one is for you? Name just one of them, which is very important to be a mentor in the process of being or mentoring or being a mentor. Which of from these four ones are very important for you? Listening actively, building trust, encouraging, or identifying goals and current reality. Which one is important for you? You can unmute or you can again write in the chat. If we have someone who wants to share, please.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, please.
Yes. Okay, thank you. From these four aspects, I think they are actually all crucial, but all I can say is that from my side, I believe building trust is even more important, because if you are a mentor, your mentee should trust you in a sense that they will be able to be open and share whatever they want to share with you if they trust you. But if they don't trust you, you find that sometimes they have got some things to share with you, but just because they don't trust you, they end up just holding them back. So I believe building trust is one, is more crucial than other ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, here we have also some in our chat. Encouraging. Okay, even we have a video here sharing. Thank you for sharing the video. Okay, do we have anyone who would like to share? Okay, let's go. And now we are going to speak about the another skill that we need really in order to be a good mentor. Because as you know, we can know everything theoretically, but the times are changing, and every time there is going to be more and more new changes or new kinds of things that we really are interested in, and it makes to change mentors too, to become more and more just qualified one. From this one, as we know, today we try to have teaching more like student-centered from this point, and also to develop their metacognition, and also how can we develop critical thinking. From this point, our mentor should also have the critical thinking skills. And the first one that I want to start, and also to give you an opportunity for you, it's about instructing, developing capabilities, because maybe all the mentors do some teaching or instructing as part of their mentoring. And this skill is especially important for informal mentoring, and means that you will give formal speeches, lectures, and instead your instructing will be more informal, from modeling specific, for example, behaviors, to conveying ideas and processes one-on-one, or for example, or tutoring mode, etc. And in this case, when you instruct, develop, you can even attend any kind of sessions which will give you more and more skills in order to be more proficient one in your one. And from this point, a mentor, it can be a learning broker as you assist your mentees in finding resources such as people, books, maybe websites. But why not from theoretical literature? You can take every kind of source that you are interested in, and also helps them recognize the inspiring actions they took in the past, and also the ways to excel again. And why not to tell the mentees what to do to have them follow in your footsteps, because you have passed the whole way, you know something, you have an experience, you are a skillful one who knows everything in order to get and to help others to develop their professional path and also become like skillful and someone who is a qualified mentor like you. And also in this case, your challenge as a mentor is to ensure that your mentees identify and pursue their own form of greatness, not, for example, necessarily yours. And maybe you can use language stories, metaphors, or powerful phrases to inspire their mentees. Remember, every time you are the one how, for example, at school, the students, they are just modeling or trying to have like an ideal character of a teacher in order to learn something, because they are encouraged, inspired by their teacher. In this case, you are the mentor who is going just to encourage and inspire the teachers to be other mentees, the teachers who want to be. And that's why it's very important just to go and think of about the inspiration, because one skill that really just separates the mentors from very good ones, because when you are inspiring, you are an ideal one who wants, you are an example model for others who wants just to become like you, like a proficient one that you are. And also by setting an example yourself and helping your mentees experience other inspirational people and situations, you can help them onto future paths that, for example, excite and motivate even their original dreams. And should be the ability of inspiring, it should be, let's say, very well organized and developed, because they can do inspiring actions, help them observe others who are inspiring, arrange other inspirational experiences for them, and why not challenge them to rise above the mundane and do important things in their life. And after it, we are just going to the feedback, how we, after inspiration, how they can provide corrective feedback, what kind of feedback we can just give them in order to be just, trustful, at the same time, the one that they really need, like a positive feedback. Effective mentors in this case also just should be willing and able to give mentees corrective feedback. It should be just justful one, trustful one, and performing in less than desirable different kinds of ways. In order, in this case, just be direct with your mentee, letting them know what you perceive and providing some better ways for handling the situation. They can be different kinds of situations, like problematic situation, like others. And this is an aspect of the mentor's protection skill, just managing risks, because when you give the feedback, you have to be just aware of that some cases, maybe some kinds of conflicts or something, misunderstandings can be, and going and managing the risks, it gives you an approach, just a good skill how to just give and how to overcome it. And that's why for giving a corrective just feedback, you should give in private. You should give as soon as the feasible after the performance. Teach your mentees new knowledge, skills, and attitudes by explaining, giving, bringing live examples, and asking thought-provoking questions. For example, I can say this one is not pink one, and you said no, it's pink, and I will give you provoking question in order every time asking why, and trying to develop your critical thinking. And at the same time, the feedback I have given you just to be consciously for you to realize that this one is because you have done this work, because you know this, and you should know this one in order to give such kind of feedback or something. And also help your mentees gain broader perspectives and attitudes, including history, values, culture, politics, to know everything. Let's say maybe not detailed, but basic information about different spheres that we usually need. And also making the process common, pointing out, naming, otherwise getting your mentees to recognize different kinds of aspects. And only after it, you can just go to the managing risk. And why not willingness in this case, while going and taking the risk at the same time, you as a mentor, you should just take and try to protect about the managing risks, because it likes another distinguishing characteristic of effective mentors when they want and are able to protect their mentees from the disasters. And if there are, as I have mentioned, being especially the mentees who are new in the field, they may have any kind of mistakes in this field. And from this point, it's very important for mentors to protect their mentees. And in this case, it's very like the one which is very near to the, when we were in the stage of just building up the trust between the mentors and mentees. And in this case, the mentor just helps the mentees recognize the risks, which can be in the project or in their actions or in different stages of their program. And also just suggest to help avoid major mistakes, for example, if they are giving or if they are judging, and help them learn to prepare well, trust their own decisions and actions. And also, if requested in difficult situations, for example, it's very important, like an important mentoring just skill to have this one. And after it, when we have everything, we can go like an opening doors. And this one is very positioned to provide visibility for the mentees. This means that opening the right doors for the participants allows them to meet people and to demonstrate in different ones, accidents, what they can do. From this point, sometimes we can say that we can know everything and are usually in a position to provide and help them. In this case, it should be a good word to people who could help your mentees reach desired goals. Make certain your mentees' abilities are noticed by others and suggest other resources for your mentees to pursue. In order, in this case, you are going to be the one who, like a model, you will be for your mentees to prepare them. As being a teacher, you are a model for your students in order to help them to get an opportunity. right? And from this point, it's very important one to be a real someone who really just inspires you, encourages you, and why not, in some cases, just give you an opportunity to be a real mentor, to put your skills, your power, your strength, your knowledge and skills to be a good one. I think that the skills, that everything that was shown here will be useful for you and will give you an opportunity in your future work as a mentor to be more like knowledgeable, skillful one, and why not to be the one who knows and is aware of everything. From this point, thank you. I try to give you all the skills for you. If you have any questions, you are open, you can ask the questions. If you are interested in anything, and it's be like you think that you need to know more information.
Hello, good evening all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, I just have a question. I have heard about reverse mentoring. Reverse mentoring. What is that supposed to be? Reverse mentoring. Something which I've been constantly hearing during my heydays. That is reverse mentoring.
Okay, what it goes to the reverse mentoring, it can be like it can be like a specific one. For example, while saying reverse one, it can be you can have, for example, one field only, be specified in it and go for it. And also you can mentor your team members like on various topics. And also it can be cultural relevance, or in some cases, while doing reverse mentoring, you just go, you like one who knows everything, and you can make a professional friendship. And from this one, you can exchange your knowledge, skills, and understanding. For example, now we are doing like mentors, we are giving you information. In some cases, we are a reverse mentoring. We are doing it because we can be specialized in a field. Now we are trying to give you our skills, knowledge, and try to train you in order to be a good one. From this point, if we, for example, mentor can be a global one, or about the reverse mentoring, it can be like a field, or for a short, or even you can be a mentor in your field or in your team, in your school. For example, you have gained or know something, or have just get acquainted with a new method, and you go and try to be a reverse mentor for your school teachers, just getting them acquainted with a skill or the method you know now, and it's a new one. Maybe it can be an innovation from this point.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Very well justified.
Please, I have a question. Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
How will I know when some feedback is corrective? You know, providing corrective feedback. I would like to understand that. Thank you. And by the way, thanks for the wonderful presentation. It's an amazing one.
Okay, as you know, the feedback is very important one, and how to give. You can give your feedback, for example, having a rubric, for example, having a rubric, and according to the rubric, you can just give your feedback. And even if you don't have if you have a rubric, I will advise you to write down something. For example, while working at Czech University, every time when I am having any kind of tasks or something given to my students, and I assess them according to this rubric, the last column I use as a written feedback. It can be even inspirational, some words, well done, or please pay attention to this one. Even the student has got his feedback in the framework of the mark, like marks or points he has got, but always I try to write down. And for giving the feedback, in this case, it's very important because they can just saw their points and don't understand. While giving the feedback, make it visible, make it clear, and make it like the one that you really pay attention to these points. And before giving the feedback or giving them any kind of task, also make sure them to know that you are going to pay attention to these points. And in order to be visible or knowledgeable for them, to pay attention to it. And when you are giving the feedback, you remember what you have told and you pay attention to them. And from this point, in every case, try to, even if you, for example, say, well done, remember that you are going to have well done, maybe unconsciously in your mind, but you have brackets. Why you have written well done? Because, for example, your mentee has discussed or has analytically, for example, analyzed this one. Maybe you won't write down. It will be better if you write down this bracket, not in your mind, but also in written form, you will write down, and it will be visible for the mentee or for the students to know. But to do it, just be visible, obvious, and to have all the reasons, answers. Why do you think? Why have you given this feedback? Analytically, just to try to be able to analyze it and to give them answers for their questions. Maybe they will want, in some cases, maybe shy or ashamed not to asking you why, but you don't wait, don't expect that they will ask. You give them these ones. And from this one, they will just understand that this feedback is the one that the mentor needs. This feedback is the one that is necessary for this program, for example.
Thank you.
Any more questions from anyone? Please kindly raise your hand. And I request you all to please start your videos. It is the end of the session now. Any questions, please? Yes. Ishmael Selo, please go ahead. Ishmael, sir.
Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Right, yeah. I wanted to ask something, ma'am. And thank you very much for being patient. I actually wanted to ask something regarding mentorship to say. I saw all the features or the characteristics that a mentor should have in order for one to become a good mentor. So my question is it that anyone can become a mentor, or perhaps is there any other criteria or maybe feature that one should undergo for him or her to become a qualified mentor? Or because from the criteria that you took us through and the ones that I know, I believe that anyone can become a mentor. So I just wanted to hear from an expertise, if is it that perhaps there is something that someone should possess for them to become a mentors, or perhaps good mentors. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your question. It's a very interesting question, yes. Really, you should know not only, just I will give you such an example. Imagine you have a medical diseases book in your hand and you try to read to get information about the diseases. And every time when you read, for example, I don't know, fever, you have high temperature, you may have a running nose or something, and you say, oh, some of these criteria I have. And then you should go and say, oh, now I know much information about different kinds of diseases. It means that I can be a doctor. The same here. While giving the skills, I think, I'm sure, many of you have just analyzing and saying that, oh, I'm a flexible one, I have leadership skills, I am knowledgeable, I know I am proficient in my skill, everything, this is fun, I can be a mentor. These are the psychological skills and criteria that I have represented and also given you the structures that you want to follow, you should follow in order to be a good one. But besides the psychological one, let's go to the other side and see about the sphere of theoretically, what you should know in order to be a mentor. First of all, if you are a doctor, for example, you can't be a mentor in education field. If you are a teacher, you can't be a mentor in medicine field. That's why, first of all, you should be an expert and just to gain more and more knowledge in every sphere. And you are a mathematics teacher, but you should know something from chemistry. You should know, for example, about the teaching management. You should know something about the pedagogy or such kind of pedagogical sciences. And also, you should know the methodology, how to teach. Because I can speak English very well, but I can't work at school because I have no diplomas, for example, in this sphere in order to work as a teacher. From this point, you have to pay attention. Not only the skills, that I have these skills, I should be a mentor. No, your second field is also a very important one. You have to pay attention to this one, to this field also, in order to get to be known, because the mentees can ask you different questions and you should know the answer for these questions in order to be able to give the right answer, that maybe in some cases the right attitude or something you can help, because you are the one that you lead them and you help them to become a mentor. This is also.
Wow. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Wonderful answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss Iram, you have some questions?
Yes, ma'am. I would just like to ask, being an educator, how would I mix with the children of different abilities, like a class that has a students of mixed abilities? So how would I go with them as a mentor?
You should just combine. I'm working at school where in every class we have students and we have students with special needs. And like a teacher, I enter the same class and conducting the lesson for example, in my school, one lesson, it lasts about 45 minutes. I am always having two kinds of plans. Plan one, when everything is okay, and plan B, when plan A won't work. Because in some classes, I have students who really, they differ not only with their speech, but also, first of all, with their behavior. You can doing, and someone can just rush to you, running, and you have just not only protect yourself, but at the same time, just to do everything in order to keep your students balance between it. That's why try to work out the methodology and also techniques that can be used with your students. For example, I have a student with special needs. He can't read, he can't speak in English. In my language a little, but not in English. It's very far from him. but he is very good at drawing. Every time when we are having lesson, the lesson picture, I show him and he asks me, can I draw? And I say, yes, you can. During the first 20 minutes, he draws this picture. And the second row, I give him from the text, the passage, and ask him, can you copy down? And he copies. And at the end of the lesson, I have the full image. He was very active. He has drawn the lesson and also copied down something from the text. It's because it's in the framework of this student. I have a student with a special needs who can't, for example, draw, but he can come to the board. I can give him the book and ask him to copy down something. Or just have some students who can just read very little words. I try to just break into the just syllabus, the words, and ask him to do. Or I give him small cards with the letters and they try to build up the word. Just work out a technique for each student with especially with special needs in order not to make your lesson like a disaster. While they are working according to the special technique worked out by you, the others with other students, you can conduct your normal lesson like without any problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, one more hand is raised. Professor Elkezhau, please go ahead. Kindly unmute yourself. Sorry, we can't hear you, sir. Please unmute.
Please, it's just a mistake. I'm not talking. It's a mistake. I'm okay with the teachings. The presentation is quite clear. I'm okay. I said the presentation is quite clear. I'm okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I think there are no more. Okay, Violetta, ma'am, you have something to ask?
No, I just want to thank you all and to say bravo to those presenters from yesterday and today. And I was watching and observing all the time as not to have some pre-knowledge as I was already elected as national mentor in my country. So what we've been talking so far is something that is going with descriptive. And what we have in our country, which we are very happy to have come to that, is criteria which are prescriptive. So about competences, we have to have 40 competences fulfilled by the Ministry of Education, by the school, evaluated, and by the Bureau of Education. So 3 levels in our state evaluate the teachers, their work, and pre-knowledge. Also, they have to have experience, 15 years, which is a quite long time, being an expert in the field. And these skills and competences are a lot, so I would not like to number them, but it's very nice to hear you all when we are talking about descriptive and inward, what a person should have as a model and to be present in the society and to make the life easier and better for all present in the educational systems. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now I think it's a time to wind up the session. Very first, I would like to thank Dr. Alice for the wonderful and brilliant presentation. And I think all our questions, all our doubts were very efficiently cleared by ma'am. Thank you so much for sparing your time, ma'am. All the participants, you were active throughout this entire session. I could see from the chats as well, right? You were answering. Even the initially when ma'am had shown a star, people have answered it very well. Thank you so much. I would like to thank our co-founder of International Internship University, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, for giving each one of us this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this mentor development program. Thank you, sir. You're always a guiding star for us. You're a mentor for us. Thank you. Dear all, let's not miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to come with one more rocking session from one more great trainer. So let's log in at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow.